Woo boy, it's been a long time since I uploaded that last Metroid video, hey? Yeah, and obviously I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to even what I want to do with this. I called it a knowledge play? Like, what? No, I'm calling it a pure play now. Whatever, that's what I'm maybe calling it. I'm calling it a pure play. And I'm calling it pure because it's the one where I'm doing it without cheating. So, in order to play a game pure, you have to do a couple things. You have to avoid cheating with cheat codes or looking ahead, and avoid talking to friends. So, who might give you hints and stuff like that, right? Or watching videos, who knows. What I'm doing for a pure play is like, you read the manual, you pay attention to what the game tells you, and you actually try to play the game. And that's what I've done for for my actual pure play. I'm not going to show a lot of footage in here. I'm not sure if I'm going to even squeeze any footage in. You saw some of my fresh play. It's no different, just different areas in Metroid. I just want to talk about the two major steps required to play Metroid in a pure sort of way. The first would be the manual, reading it. The second would be making a map so that you can actually try to play the game, because unless you're going to do it by memory, you're going to have to jot something down. So I want to talk about my opinions on both of those things. And then that'll be it for this particular video. And unlike the gap between the last one and this one, I'm almost ready to pump out the one right after this where I have my final verdict on the Metroid situation. I know you're looking forward. I know you've been dying. Oh, you don't know I exist. That checks out. But maybe you will someday when the next Metroid game comes out in 30 years. You'll be typing in YouTube stuff and like, oh, what's this whole electronic emotions program thing with the whole Metroid? Let's find out. Then I'll get you. 20 years from now, you'll be all loving what I'm putting out here now. Yeah. So let's lead into it with the manual. As always, I always suggest reading the manual first, but in this case, oh man, if you are playing legit and trying to play it like it was in the 80s, read the manual. It's the only way you're going to know any idea of what's going on. If you want the story, there you go. Story starts on page 3 and ends on page 8. I'm pretty sure all of us can figure out how to start a game, but they tell you how to do that too, and they tell you how to get passwords. They tell you the point of the game, what the final boss is. They tell you all the enemies later on. They tell you all the items. They tell you how to control the game, all very important stuff. They give you a very useless map, I would say. It's sort of helpful in a sense. They name the areas and show you how many areas there are, but I don't find the map intuitive in the slightest, so don't go by that map. But it's there. Use it how you need, I guess. Again, they tell you about the mini-bosses, what you need to do to get past a certain area by defeating the mini-bosses, all that stuff. They cover everything. I like about these games, these manuals, is they show you everything in the game and they explain it. They have nice artwork, and it kind of does add a lot more flavor to a game when the game can't describe it to you itself because of memory restrictions. However, I think too much is explained in this manual and not enough in the game, and I think it takes away from the game, honestly. Where a manual should augment the game, I think this takes away just by telling you everything, how to beat the enemies, how to do this, how to do that. And the game offers you nothing, so you need the manual, but then the game is emptier. So yeah, just going through it here, the manual teaches you everything you need to know, and the only thing it leaves you to do is find your way through the maze. They even tell you that you should make your own map, which I did, but I'm no cartographer, and I'm really bad at it, and I think a lot of people might have been too. Kind of tough to know what you're doing in there, so the only thing that you can do in Metroid is find your way through the maze. And is it a good maze? Well, now that I've got the manual out of the way, let's talk about the map and the great, wonderful job I did making it. An important aspect when you're playing Metroid is drawing out that map. The instruction manual map is very unhelpful, so you gotta do it yourself. I'm a terrible cartographer, but you know, I got it done. Well, as far as I played, I got enough done to understand where I've been, what I've done. But it wasn't easy because I found it very easy to get lost. Even as I was playing, I was like, wait, was I in this room before? Because it's the exact same layout and textures and everything. You know, at least it felt that way for a lot of the rooms. I was never really sure. And as you can see from some areas, there's some scribbles, there's some uncertainties of how far I went. Another problem is when you're scrolling up and down, there's no, unless you're counting the blocks, it's kind of hard for me to gauge how far I have gone down. Have I gone down 3 screens, 4 screens? I don't know. And so this little loopy area here, it kind of really doesn't look that well. But considering I didn't really find anything in there, the whole thing was kind of a waste of time. I'll have to go back in and explore once I've found the ice beam, which I have found since. I actually stopped playing after finding the ice beam, after there was the relief of finding it, and then I got stuck, and I didn't bother taking a password down, going, I'll just start from where I was last time. The ice beam's actually here in this area. If I just go down here, which obviously I've drawn wrong for many reasons. I missed a room in this horizontal series of rooms. I missed marking that down for some reason. But I did notice that the floors did break, and I marked to come back down and check later. And that's one thing that it was one of the last places I was looking out of desperation trying to find the ice beam, going, oh, right, because I had drawn the map wrong, and I didn't immediately... I saw the little door markings showing there was something to do, but I didn't see the space where I could explore, so I didn't explore that till the very end. So I did find the ice beam, which is going to open up a lot for me. I know there's a energy tank I can get now that I've got the ice beam. There's a whole series of other areas I can go to. It'll make getting through the game a lot easier, too, since I can freeze enemies as opposed to waiting for them to drop an item and then me hoping not to grab the item. So I think getting the ice beam might actually make the game easier. I've put the game on pause for quite a while, but I think I should go back to it. But yeah, so other than missing that room and having that mess in that looping area, I've also got the problem where I've had to mark A and B to go to a different part of the page where I didn't have room to draw where I was. Now, I know when drawing maps, what I should probably be doing is getting another piece of paper and like taping it alongside this one so I could continue on infinitely in any direction. But I'm okay with jotting notes, but I don't want a whole arts and crafts project. I don't really like this whole map thing. It worked. I was getting through it. But honestly, unless you do like that sort of thing, and I can totally see the draw if you do like that sort of thing, man, I wish there was just a map in-game. Even something so simple as what Legend of Zelda gave. Because that was just like the overworld for Legend of Zelda 1. It was just a gray rectangle with a greenish dot showing where you were in the world. It didn't give you any detail, but it gave you a better idea of where you were. I think Metroid would do so well if it just had that even. It would really let you know where you are in the world, where you can go, and I think it would go a long way even helping the cartography aspect of it. So yeah, that was how I approached playing the game in a pure sort of way. And although when I recorded the map portion of this that you saw, I didn't finish the game and I thought I was going to abandon it. But I eventually did go back, finish it, and I was able to make a honest final verdict on it, which we'll see next video. So tune in very soon when I upload that video.